It's good to have you back from the conference room where we have the mediation stakeholders meeting with Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company. In that stakeholders monthly meeting with them by consumers having grievances about the services being provided, and them on the side of government representing the interest of what they should do as a policy trust of government in the provision and distribution of electricity supply to the people. And of course, we always say it is always good to jaw, but not war, which brings in this picture the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, Lascopa, as a mediation agency of government in overseeing how we can be able to contain and address issues of challenges in terms of services being provided either by government institution, agency of government, and corporate entities put together. And that is why today we deem it very necessary to have this engagement with the general manager of the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, Lascopa, here at the corporate office of the agency of government located here at Soji Adekpegba Close of Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. And I'm happy to say that today I will be speaking with the general manager, who is my guest, a man of many parts, some say he is, but that we'll get to know when we come back. We'll take a break now. I'll be right back after this short time with you. Welcome and thank you for staying with us. Well, I did say that we'll be back after a short while, and here we are. So our focus today is on the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, Lascopa. By the law, as stated, we found out from the records that Lascopa was established on the need to engender a mechanism for consumers' protection and ensure that consumers in the state have value for their money. That is the underlining word. Have value for their money and create a sustainable confidence in them. To this end, we have, as reported, as put in the records, that a law now known as the Lagos State Consumer Protection Committee Law, Cap L15, Laws of Lagos 2003, was enacted and activated in the year 2008 with the inauguration of the Lagos State Consumer Protection Committee, LSCPC, on the 27th of February 2008. And we are happy to state that the impressive performance of the services, or so to speak, the free services provided by the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency and Committee, so to speak, gave room to further enact that which today we are referring to as the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, Lascopa, in accordance with Law Cap C13, Laws of Lagos State in 2014. This is the background of the agency we are really focusing attention on today. And I'm happy to state that my guest, as the general manager of this agency of government, is a man of reputable integrity, a man with outstanding pedigree, a legal practitioner of repute, and of course a man whose service speaks so much about his performance, his competence, his capability, his dedication, and of course his drive in pushing all of this which he has been saddled with as a mandate to so achieve, to bring about a relative peace and harmonious relationship between all concerns in any engagement of a conflict resolution, as it were. Well, Mr. Afolabi Adebayo Solebo Esquire, the Lord, we must thank you for this time with you.
Thank you for having me on the program.
Well, sir, let us start very sincerely from a very critical note. We understand the law establishing your agency of government that has come to be and has made an impactful mark in a service delivery, quality service delivery to the good people of Lagos State as we speak today. But if anything, what is it you still want to say concerning the law establishing this agency of government to where we are today?
Yes, thank you very much. When you're talking about the law as stated, what is not known to the public now is that there's another law, a 2024 law signed by Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, in 2024, which has been a review of the 2014 law. There's been an improvement on as regards some other things that are now being included in the 2024 law, which will help the agency to achieve more and also to protect the consumers in Lagos State more.
All right, let's start from your vision statement here, sir. The vision statement is very clear. It states to ensure consumer satisfaction, value for money, and protection from hazardous products. Underlined. How have you been able to drive this drive with a vision statement in line with what is expected and should be expected to be in tandem with a vision statement in accordance with the law?
Yeah, thank you very much. Sincerely, the vision statement actually captured everything. And if you want to talk about consumer rights, you have to talk about value for money. You talk about satisfaction. And you talk about protection from hazardous and substandard products. And this has been achieved to a very large extent when you talk about people, particularly supermarkets and grocery stores selling expired product. It is hazardous to life. Then when you talk about people buying product or being rendered services that they are not satisfied with or they are not getting value for money, I think is where our achievement, our moderate achievement will speak for us. And this cuts across these different categories of consumer breaches. Is it about banking? Is it about automobiles? Is it about insurance? Is it about electricity? What you just witnessed there? I can tell you the two discos in Lagos State do sit here. I mean the Eco Disco and the Ikeja Disco sit in this office for a parley.
Like we have just seen there now, and they are also what is speaking now, having the engagement on.
Definitely.
Here, people can hear their voices as we're having this interview.
The two disco sits in this office to parley with the consumers every last Wednesday and every last Thursday of the month, respectively. So, also we'll talk about other things like electronics. People go out there and buy electronics. Some of them we can tell you are substandard in nature. We've seen in situation in this agency too that consumers bought vehicles and those vehicles were defective and we have to seek for a refund. And such was the refund. And today, one of the beneficiaries who I went to see now, I won't mention him, actually said he was the one involved in 2021. So it cuts across, the vision is very clear. Protection against expired product, substandard product, hazardous product that will endanger the lives of consumers in Lagos State.
I must commend the fact that you've been able to give us this clarity. But let us look at the fact that we speak from the perspective of wanting to get an insightful information or an education about how you've been able and you are still able to still contain and still doing what should be done without create any chaotic, any conflict, but yet being able to play a very mediative role as seen and as commended generally by the people. Is this enough, so to speak, when we look at the vision statement and saying that it captured in totality all that needs to do with what she must do in giving the people the satisfaction they so need? So far in your engagement?
Yeah, thank you very much. The mechanism being set out by the law is very clear. That is, the agency must at least try to have a meeting, which is mediation and conciliation between parties. And what do we do to achieve that? What we do is that once we get a complaint, we communicate with the other party, which later become the respondent. And to a large extent, we've treated over 12,000 cases.
You have treated over 12,000 cases?
Over 12,000 cases since 2018.
Oh, since 2018 till now.
2018 till now. And out of the 12,000 cases, over 11,000 of those cases have been resolved amicably for the complainants. And if with that, I mean, this cuts across different categories, like I mentioned earlier, and we are winning. And if we talk
We
about,
are winning.
we are winning.
We are winning.
Yeah,
You're sure we are winning?
I know we are winning. If we can resolve over 11,000 from over 12,000 cases, we are winning. Consumers in Lagos State are winning, because in Lagos State, consumers are kings. And peradventure, if we're not able to resolve through the mechanism of mediation and conciliation, we go to court. And I can assure you, even when we go to court, most of the respondents will even come back to come and tell us they want to resolve, because the law is very clear. If a consumer is not getting value for money, if a consumer is not getting satisfaction, if a consumer is being sold a product that is defective, if a consumer is being sold product that had expired, it behoves on the respondent to take steps, either to in some cases where you have to repair or replace that product, and peradventure, if the product is no longer available, you refund the money. And sometimes we do ask for compensation as well.
All right, let's take another angle to this so that we can now come back in balancing both the vision statement and the mission statement. Your mission statement, Mr. General Manager, sir, is very clear, and it states very clearly here that promotion of consumer rights, protection against hazardous and substandard products through regular public enlightenment. The underlining word here, Mr. General Manager, sir, is you exercising your assigned statutory mandatory role via regular public enlightenment, as earlier said in the course of the what you must do. How have you been able to do this? How effective would you say that you have been able to engage the public through this enlightenment process to let them understand why you are there and created by the law to serve the interest of the people?
Yes, thank you very much. When it comes to the issue of promotion of consumer rights, and it's I think when you talk about the moderate achievement of the agency, you should be able to tell the public why they should come to the agency when they have any issue as regards either having an issue with the business owner or service providers. Like public enlightenment, we do this through radio, television, and also we have all social media handles where we promote. Let me give you examples of people that have come in here and they've gotten reliefs, and probably most of them are now satisfied with whatever product, maybe by getting a refund or getting a replacement for their product. That is part of it, and it is very important that the issue of consumer education, we take it very serious. We educate the public, and this we do through regular public enlightenment, be it on radio, be it on television, and even on our social media handles. And also the consumer protection, consumer education department also go around to secondary school, to primary school, and tertiary institutions. Presently, we have even
you go as far as primary schools.
Definitely, we do
secondary
that.
schools.
We do that. Then now that the schools have even resumed, we'll be doing more of consumer education in all those schools. We've outlined the schools we want to go to. We've spoken with their principal and the head of the school, so that we can go in there, have a session with them, educate them on their rights as consumers and also their responsibilities as consumers. We also have the National Youth Service Corps members that are even working assiduously with the agency to promote consumer rights. And most of them now, they have been, through their consumer education to members of the public, we've been seeing their hands, so that when people come in, oh, we are from NYC, they ask us to come here. And also, in promoting the rights of consumers as well, we are not only in this building in Soji Adepegba, we also have liaison offices in Ikoyi Obalende.
You have liaison offices
in Ikoyi Obalende
across the state.
Across the state, Ikoyi Obalende. We have in Bariga, we have in Badagry, we have in Ikorodu, we have in Ekpe, we also in Isolo, Ojo local government. And why this? It's part of the promotion of the rights of consumers, because where we think that somebody from Ekpe, for example, or somebody from Ikorodu may feel reluctant to come all the way to come and lodge complaint if some of them they are not too conversant with the use of their phones, maybe through any of our social media handles. So with that, we've been able to promote the agency, though we still believe that we are not where we want to be, because we want to cover all the local governments in Lagos State to promote consumer rights.
Let's take it deeply here now, Mr. General Manager, sir. It is your duty and your commitment of service, delivery to the people, to ensure that your agency of government works to resolve consumer complaints. How do you address that? What is the procedural part of, open to consumers, the window open to consumers, to really let you know that for them to know that they can really channel their case through this agency of government, for them to be able to be given the services needed, and of course achieving the goal of why they come to you. What are the channels open to them, or have you been addressing their complaints, or how do they address complaints to you?
Yes, thank you very much. There's several ways by which consumers can lodge their complaints at the agency. One is by walking into any of our offices.
That is, they can walk. I can walk.
You can walk.
Anyone can walk into any of the offices.
You can walk
your
into
corporates.
You can walk into any of the offices and lodge your complaints. And if
you have a desk,
we have a desk
consumer.
Even at the headquarters side, you'll see a room downstairs. You'll see
a customer service.
About 3 or 4 people will be attending to different people that comes with different consumer-related issues. Even in our liaison offices too, you have officers that are there to attend to them. And some other times too, you can write email address. You can write to our email address. You can also lodge your complaints on any of our social media handles. And sometimes the member of the social media handles, the handlers of those handles, they do get information from all social media platforms, and they bring it to us, and we look for the person that is involved, and we invite them there to come and actually state their case if it is true. And if it is true, we ensure that we get across to the other party, the respondent in this case. So there are different ways by which people can lodge their complaints at the Consumer Protection Agency. We have an email, we're on social media handles. You can walk into any of our offices, because once you walk in there, we have trained mediators.
You have trained mediators?
We have trained mediators, and once they come like that, they divide them into sections. If it has to do with automobile, if it has to do with electricity, if it has to do with banking, if it has to do with insurance, if it has to do with doing business online, all this online transaction, and if it has to do with no refund. If it has to do with supermarkets that ordinarily we expect them to display the prices of their goods and they are not displaying, we visit them immediately, no matter where they are in this Lagos State, because Mr. Governor actually said, no matter whose ox is God, consumers in Lagos State must be protected.
But do you know that as we speak, while it is good to know that this window of opportunities is there for the consumers in Lagos State, and courtesy of Mr. Governor, who has been supporting the vision, the mission of this drive to give consumers the best satisfaction they can get in the state, some people are of the opinion that nothing has been done so far to achieve that primary goal, primary objective of what should be, when we look at the aggregate of complaints that are still out there, they say have not been attended to. I don't know, but maybe you will be able to explain to us.
Yes, thank you very much. I think I need to explain better to you. You see, I said earlier, because in as much as we are not, to us and my team, we are not where we want to be. But if we have handled...
You are not where you want to be.
Definitely.
In as much as you are trying to... you observe that you are not where you ought to be now.
Yes,
but you are doing something.
we are doing something. Let me give you examples. If I said we've treated over 12,000 cases and we're able to resolve over 11,000 of those cases, and we've recovered for Lagosians over 530 million naira, 14,000 US dollars. These are costs across different categories of consumer breaches. Let me say, for example, electricity. We have 2 discos in Lagos, Ikeja Disco and Eko Disco. From Ikeja Disco alone, the agency have recovered over 120 million naira as credit adjustment for Lagosians.
From Eko Disco alone?
From Ikeja Disco that you just spoke to now. And from Eko Disco, the agency have recovered over 39 million naira. That is as for Lagosians as credit adjustment.
As credit adjustment.
Because there are always cases of overbillings, metering, transformers and everything. Even if you look back there, you'll see about 2 local community that will even give us award for helping them through the IKDC to energize their transformers. So that is for electricity. You want to talk about banking, where people complain about erroneous transfer, using of the ATM, using of the POS, and they have complained. From banks alone, we recovered over 37 million naira and 5,000 US dollars for consumers.
From banks alone?
In Lagos, banking alone, from different banks alone. All banks do come here.
Banks do also come
Banks do come here once we have, because we have some designated officers from different banks. So when we have an issue, those are the people we will contact. And if they are not responding, we contact their head offices. And they always ensure they come here and resolve issues between the consumers and the bank. You want to talk about airlines? This agency, as we speak, you can fact check us on our social media handles. We've recovered over 34 million naira and over 10,000 US dollars from local and international airlines.
As we speak.
For consumers in Lagos State.
In Lagos State.
Yes. Or you want to talk about online business, online transactions, where people will, what they order is different from what they got. We've recovered to the tune of over 24 million naira for Lagosians. Is it on supermarkets or grocery store that sells expired products? Most times when we go do our monitoring and enforcement, if those expired products are not, we seal immediately through by going to the court to get a sealing order. And those supermarkets will be fined and they will pay into the coffers of the state. Is it about insurance, where the agency have recovered over 40 million naira for consumers in Lagos State? So it cuts across different categories, be it goods bought or services rendered. So with our moderate achievement, we still believe that we can do more, and we're going to be doing more through a continuous public enlightenment. And when you go to any of our social media handles, you see a lot of testimonies. All you need to do is follow Lascopa on Instagram, follow Lascopa on Facebook, or follow Lascopa on X, so that you'll be able to see different categories of consumer breaches, and it has been resolved. How people are coming out to say to the public, I was at Lascopa, what I thought is not possible has been done. Is it about no refund policy, where you go to supermarket, or any store, you buy a product and they will put it at the back of their receipt and say that there's no refund. We've gotten refund to the refund on such like that, just refund, general refund alone, over 13,188,000 naira. Is it online marketing? We've gotten 21,517,000 naira for Lagosians. And when you talk about the issue of telecommunication, recently we got an invitation now that the NCC want us to be part of their 95th anniversary, whereby we've recovered over 42 million naira, 736,000 naira for consumers in Lagos State. Is it hospitality? You people online, you book an hotel or apartment, and this even happened recently during last year's Dirty December, where people will book an hotel and or apartment, and you're getting there, what you are seeing is different from what you're seeing online. And they will tell you they don't do refund. But this agency has recovered over when it comes to hospitality, the agency have recovered over 43 million naira for consumers in Lagos State. So it goes a long way to tell you that in Lagos State, consumers are kings.
Well, it's good to note that you have affirmed and have very sincerely said it as it is, that you are not there yet, but all you have highlighted in terms of achievement speaks volume of so much of what you have done to attaining the height of the peak of what you should do. I think that is commendable indeed. But what was the magic?
Well, the magic is just simple. The zero tolerance of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, for breach of consumer rights in Lagos State. Then the collective determination of the staff, the management and staff of the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency. We have made up our mind to do the job as described by the law and do the needful to ensure that consumers do not suffer in silence. We keep saying that if you have bought a product recently, or if you've been rendered the services that you are not satisfied with, do not suffer in silence. Come to Lascopa and your matter will be resolved amicably. And we do not do this alone, because we have other stakeholders that we synergize with, like the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. And you talk about the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We talk about the police, even the judiciary. There's collaboration with the agency.
I'm coming to the issue of collaboration and partnership in your synergy in being able to connect with this and be able to achieve your set goal. But before we go into that, Mr. General Manager, sir, with all due respect to you, I must thank you that at least with the outstanding
Of standard.
but basically, so it's not all about products alone. We are talking about, like you highlighted,
There's
you
no
have said
way.
before,
Yes.
services are also part of what you engage in addressing.
Yes,
on behalf
because
of
what you're
consumers.
looking at is services.
This
Services.
engagement now with
Definitely.
Ikeja
Definitely.
Electricity Company
Yeah.
and the consumers.
Yes, even the bank
With the
too,
grievances.
the services. We've seen situation whereby somebody went to an ATM and the cash did not dispense. And the bank is saying that they have records that it dispensed. All the bank needs to give us is to give us a CCTV of when the cash was dispensed and that particular customer picked the cash. Or probably you put your card into an ATM cash and he swallowed it.
That's right.
And the customer quickly walked into that bank to lodge complaint that my card was being swallowed by the bank, and they must tell us, they must show us evidence that this person did not come into that bank.
So the CCTV too is a very it's
essential.
evidence-based.
Very essential,
in what we do.
evidence-based, because it's expected that all banks must have that CCTV at their
And where they don't have, because something could go wrong.
It has happened here before. They will be liable.
They will be liable.
They will be liable.
If there is no evidence base.
Most of those banks have refunded money to consumers here. That's why we are
On your watch in what you do
definitely
and what
that-
you address.
Definitely, that is why we are halved at how much recovered from the banks is 39,754,000, then $4,370 US.
In service-oriented cases you've handled.
Definitely.
So you see, the beauty here is you talk about products concern, services concern, all connected,
All
in
connected.
giving quality service delivery
Yes.
to the people of the state. There is no doubt there must be challenges here, sir. And if we must, before we go into your collaboration, have you been facing your challenges? Have there been challenges or are there no challenges?
Yeah, there have been challenges. The challenges we had initially is no responsive. I mean, the other party not responding. Let me give, when you started with this issue of electronics, and some of these business owners, they will not want to come here. Then we will now have to use enforcement to ensure that they come and attend to matters. But as time goes by, they saw what we've been doing. They have no choice. That is why from electronics, be it air conditioners, bought refrigerators, even mobile phones, if it's still within the warranty and is giving issues, we'll be asking for.
If it's still within the warranty.
If it's still within the warranty. Even we've done it with vehicles here before. I don't want to mention names. Top automobile company. We ensure that it will get a repair if possible, or a replacement. And where they don't have a replacement, we ensure that we get a refund for the consumers. And also that is sale. But when it even comes to services, there's a very big automobile company in this Lagos that a vehicle, a Range Rover car, was given to them to fix the transmission. But when they returned it, the engine is knocked.
Wow.
So we impressed it upon them that we bring your documents. Was there any diagnostic result that this vehicle had engine problem? And they said no. So we asked them to replace the engine, and they did. I think they spent about 40 million naira to replace the engine. That is the power of consumers that knows
that. That is the power of the law. If you look at all of this, we are saying, Mr. General Manager, sir, the beauty of it centers on the law that is guiding the operations, and of course that is ensuring the safeguard of both parties in this connect. Because without the law, I'm sure this would not have been possible or doable. So the place of the law, how well has it helped your agency of government in doing what it should do rightly, and you getting it right in doing it right the way it should be done as we speak? What has the place of the law, how has the place of the law, so to speak, helped you this far in your drive and engagement in achieving the goals that you have been able to, and the feat you've been able to?
It is just very simple. Without the law, there won't be enforcement.
Without the law,
there won't be enforcement.
There won't be enforcement.
There's nothing to enforce if the law is not there. That law has always been there. But in most cases, because of the non-education of the consumers and them not knowing where to go to, just suffering in silence and say, I leave it to God. But since the inception of this Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, with our consumer education, with our public enlightenment to the people, and with our moderate achievement, that is why in the course of doing our monitoring, we can also do enforcement, because there will be nothing to enforce if the law is not there. Just as simple as that.
Sir, I know Lagos may not be as big in size like people said, or that we know, but the population in the state as populated by the people in Lagos State is enormous, with over 22 million people in the state of excellence. Now, how have you been able, because when you said you have your offices, liaison offices in few places, Lagos is indirectly so big a place. When you look at the interiors and all of those places, how have you been able to handle cases, beyond that which is even outside the scope of your liaison offices and far beyond?
Yes, the local government chairman or chairperson for all our liaison offices, they actually work together with us. At least for them to have given us offices, or sometimes we do take our porter cabins there to ensure that at least people of that vicinity will have somewhere to go to. And also, those places we cannot reach, some of them we do go there to do consumer education and public enlightenment. We do share our flyers to them. We have flyers in different, be it on your rights and responsibilities, be it on not exposure of plastic bottle drinks under sunlight, and some other things that we know that are hazardous to the life of consumers in Lagos State. So through our flyers and asking them to follow us on all our social media handles, we do get complaints from different places. And what we do, we invite them over. So it's is another way of letting people that we don't have offices yet in their locality, so that they can have other means by which they can lodge their complaints, either on our social media handles, on sending mails to our Lagos State Consumer Protection mails. So those are other avenues whereby we can reach out to them. And sometimes when we're on radio or television, particularly LTV 8, Traffic Radio, Echo FM, and Radio Lagos.
All right, sir, we must take a break at this point. When we come back, we'll take it from another angle in this interview session with you. We'll be right back. I'm actually part two. All right. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Well, if you're still very much with us and you are still just joining us, it's still we're reaching you here from the broadcasting station of Lagos Television on Issues and Trends with Obafemi Craig. And our guest today that we've been speaking with, that has to do with consumers' protection rights and all of that has to do with consumers' rights and protection, is the General Manager of the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, Lascopa, in the person of a legal practitioner of repute, Mr. Folabi Adebayo Esquire. And we've been engaging him, and he's been able to take us through some critical understanding in the evaluation of the services being rendered by this agency of government to the good people of the state. Mr. General Manager, sir, we must thank you as always for being there and this much time you've given to us to speak with you. Now, let us take another angle to all of this. One of the things we found out again is that by the law as required of you to do, you must from time to time publish the list of products for consumption and sale which have been banned, withdrawn, restricted, or not approved by the appropriate federal government agencies. How have you been doing this? Or you've not been doing this?
Well, for now, we've not been able to do that by telling the public products that have been banned, because now we are not aware of any. But definitely, if we are aware, we give it enough publicity, maybe knowing it through all our sister agencies or agencies that we collaborate with.
There is another point here. I'm sorry I'm taking you one after the other. Saying that it is your duty as per your mandatory service to encourage trade industry and professional associations to not only develop but to equally ensure that they enforce in their various fields quality standards designed to safeguard the interest of consumers. This is very germane.
Yes, it is very germane, and this has happened on severally. That is why you see most of the people that have been invited to this office, as regards when it comes to the issue of quality and standards of their product, they've been coming regularly and they understand what we're saying. They understand what we mean by good quality. They understand what we mean by standard products. And I think they've been taking it very seriously, because definitely our own is to protect consumers. In as much as we keep on bringing in goods that are not of good quality, or you bring in substandard products, we'll be pushing it back, and definitely the business owner will be at loss. So definitely, I think most of them are responding both in goods they are selling or services they are rendering.
There is a common saying, Mr. General Manager, sir, that government alone cannot do everything. And you must agree, because I know you are a reputable lawyer of integrity, that government alone can do all things for all the people at all the time. The people, other players in different sectors should also come together to do this. And that brings me to where part of the what the law says we should do here has to do with ensuring that as an agency of government, you encourage the formation of voluntary consumer group or associations for the interest of the consumer. That sounds interesting to us.
Yes, it is very interesting. And I just mentioned the issue of we have other non-governmental offices that are collaborating with Lascopa to ensure that consumers in Lagos State are protected. We also have the NYSC, the youth corps members that are collaborating with us to ensure that not only do they educate the consumers they come across, they also send them here when they have issues. So the issue of collaboration with others is very important, and not only with non-governmental agencies, even with governmental agencies. I can tell you with a Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, when I assume duties, I ensure that at least I visited Abuja twice to visit the chair, executive vice chairman of the erstwhile and the present, to ensure that we have this synergy, because there are some laws that are federal in nature, and we use the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018 to actually address some issues. So
of concerns too here in the state.
Yes, in all the state. So also, when it comes to the issue of pharmaceutical products, we had a meeting with the chairperson of NAFDAC, at least on 2 occasions like that, for collaboration, because we may, in the course of our monitoring and enforcement, bump into a pharmacy and we see products that are expired, and it is not within our own jurisdiction. Definitely we relate same, or we ensure that we establish or escalate same to NAFDAC. So also is Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. So, and even Standard Organization of Nigeria. There are some cases here that has to do with we conducting on a particular product. We want to do a test on a particular product. An example is that of the issue of a tomato paste that went viral, and the issue of some other products like that. So because of the synergy and collaboration we have with other sister agencies like Standard Organization on there, so we're able to carry out a laboratory test there. So we engage and we synergize with other governmental and non-governmental agencies.
That's good to know. So that connects with the synergy you've been having as collaboration and partnership with other agencies and non-governmental organizations in your drive to ensure the safeguard of all of this interest for the public.
Yes, definitely.
Mr. General Manager, you talked about achievements, and of course you've read so much, and we understand that you have been recipients of so many awards. How true is that?
I cannot count. I've received awards from both local and international, within and outside the country.
Local and international awards.
For what we've been doing, and we even got lucky sometimes. The chairman of the Kano State Consumer Protection Council had to visit this agency recently, and even he came on a food safety conference and a food safety conference and exhibition. So it's a plus for us to show that we are doing our own bit to ensure that consumers in Lagos are adequately protected and get value for money and satisfaction.
Would you say we are where we should be now, given the mandates you've been given and this far you've come in the journey? Will you say that it is Uhuru now?
I will not say so, but I must say a big thank you to Mr. Governor of Lagos State for solely ensuring that this agency still stands and is doing well. In as much as we don't think we don't believe that we are where we want to be. We
In as much as you think that you are not where you should be.
Yes, because we want more. We want a situation whereby we'll be in all local government. We want a situation whereby we will reduce drastically the sale of substandard and expired products and hazardous products in this state. We want a situation where we'll have our own laboratory where we can test for products.
Quality test,
Quality test, so that we can know, we can test for product, and such the outcome of such test will be agreeable and can be tested anywhere in the whole world to come out.
And not contestable at all if done.
So there are so many things we believe that we still have to do. We want a total synergy with the police. We're even thinking that we should have a
total synergy with the police.
With the police and other sister enforcement agencies. Even the judiciary, we want a situation whereby we can have consumer rights courts, so that our cases will not drag in court, both in the magistrate and the high courts. So there are so many things we still believe we can achieve through this agency, so that at the end of the day, the issue of breach of consumer rights in Lagos State will be reduced drastically, both for the manufacturer of products, business owners, service providers, and the consumers. There has to be this synergy. There has to be a situation whereby the consumer will be at rest that this product I'm buying is of good quality and of good standard. And per adventure, it is not. I know that it's that I get a refund or a replacement for such products.
For doubting Thomases, Mr. General Manager, who are still in doubt or still have that critical view of their perception that the agency is just a barking dog that cannot bite, neither can it even do anything. How does that make you feel good when they say things like that? So provocatively to say that, what have you done? What would you respond? What would you respond?
Just recently I read in a particular newspaper that said that the agency and some other agencies were just looking away from so many things. But I want to assure the members of the public, Lascopa is not out to play. Lascopa is not out to play on anybody's intelligence. Lascopa is there to protect you. Do not suffer in silence. You could go through our social media handles or our achievements and be able to, you can speak, because during the World Consumer Rights Day, some people actually came to talk about what is achieved. Just recently, just a few hours ago, I was in the commissioner's office. I never knew that the commissioner actually benefited from this agency when it comes to the issue of a vehicle that was defective in nature, and we got a refund. I never knew that. So it's for Lagosians to trust the system. It's for Lagosians to believe us. It's for Lagosians not to suffer in silence, but come out, voice out, so that you'll be protected against any form of unscrupulous trade practice, unfair trade practice, and any form of hazardous products or services rendered to you that are not of good quality.
Some are so provocating to say that you are compromising, that you always compromise. It's not that you've achieved any result. And that get me off my balance. I said, no, I must put this before you. Is it true to say that from that perspective of their view, that Lascopa will compromise standard, integrity, dignity, transparency, and accountability? Is that correct to say?
Lascopa can never be compromised under my watch. I've been of service to my great state for the past 24 years. I have served in different departments in the Lagos State Ministry of Justice, particularly as a prosecutor.
As a prosecutor?
Until date, I still go to court. I have numbers of files here on so many criminal cases. I still go to court. And when it comes to integrity, we do not toy with integrity. If you go downstairs, even at the entrance of this office, you will see it boldly written, we do not take money, do not give money to anybody, because the government of Lagos State have made this agency free of charge, and you get quality and standard results when you come in here. We do not compromise. My staff will never compromise.
I must thank you so very much. Now you talk about your social media handles. How will we reach you? How will they get you through your social media handles?
Just follow Lascopa on Instagram, LASGCOPA on Instagram, LASGCOPA on Twitter or X, then Lascopa on Facebook.
What will be your parting words if we must leave you?
Yeah,
But before we do, the engagement we saw this today speaks volume. We left there to come to you, and we're happy that this we saw a practical example of what you've been saying. How are we going to resolve what has just been discussed there? How do you intend to manage it? All that have been discussed in what we just recorded before having your interview.
yes, thank you very much. You know, most consumers, when they come in to the agency, they're always hungry and everything. But at the end of the day, like there was somebody there that was said when he saw me this morning before I went for another meeting, when he saw me this morning, he was very hungry, he was talking at the top of his voice. I just calmed him down. And you could see him sitting down there and giving testimony of how he believes that the agency, through the agency, he will be able to resolve his matter with the sitting disco there. So it's something for you to come. Definitely, a lot of people will come with their grievances, but by the time, maybe during the mediation and conciliation, and trying to explain to the person what actually transpired and how the matter could be resolved, they always leave here smiling.
We are told the reward of hard work is more work. And this is why you've not even done the bit of the work is expected. And you must do more work ahead of you.
Yes.
How prepared are you?
Very much prepared. Anything we set out to do, especially when you have the backing of the state, when you have the backing of the law, when you have the backing of the law enforcement, I think the sky is the limit. All I'll say to Lagosian is that Mr. Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, has zero tolerance for breach of consumer rights in this state, no matter whose ox is God.
But some say that you are short-staffed. Have you been able, or how will you be able to, with not too many, I mean, the manpower at your disposal is not as big enough to meet the challenges that you are contending with?
Any agency will tell you that they are short-staffed, but we are managing. That is why, apart from the normal staff, we still have ad hoc staff. So those ad hoc staff that complement what we've been doing here, and they are doing very well because we train them to do the job, and you can see for yourself, even at the point of entry, the contact there you have with them at that desk, they attend to you very well. Some say we don't even behave like civil servants, but we are just different.
We thank you very sincerely. Your parting words.
Yeah, my parting words for Lagosians that do not suffer in silence. If you have bought a good recently, or you've been rendered a service that you are not satisfied with, do not suffer in silence, because in Lagos State, consumers are kings.
Indeed, consumers are king in Lagos. We thank you so very much, Mr. General Manager, for this opportunity.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you, sir. Viewers at home, we must thank you. From the broadcasting station of Lagos Television and across the world where you are watching us, of course, this is an outside broadcast recording that we've done to bring to you, to let you understand how much the Lagos State government is committed to in giving consumers the best of what should be their best in terms of Mr. Governor's zero tolerance for that which has to do with consumers' rights in the state. So together, we believe that we can always jaw and not war, so that collectively, the benefit of all will be the good of all at the end of it. We'll see you again same time next week on Issues and Trends with Obafemi Craig. Thank you for today.